All right, 2Ps, how are you doing? For this last unit, we are splitting, and you guys will be doing measurements, which will be mostly surface area and volume of 3D shapes. A couple things I want to show you before I get started on the lesson. I have created a new outline for Unit 5. So I've added Unit 5 to the Brightspace account, and I will have this at the beginning of it so you can have direct links to everything as I put them up. Okay, in this, I wanted to show you the formula sheet as well that you're going to use. This is basically everything you need to know for this unit. So if you're really good at figuring out how formulas work by looking at diagrams, you can go ahead and try the practice and try the quizzes if you'd like. Um, so we're mostly going to be doing the second page, so the surface area and volume. So it is there for you. You can print that out or just have it available to you. And I have posted it on um, Brightspace as well. Okay, so back to our lesson today. So today, our first lesson in this unit is going to be working with prisms. So first of all, what in the world are some of these terms that we are using? So just to review, perimeter is the distance around a two-dimensional or 2D shape. So if you have a square and you walk around the outside, the distance it takes to walk around it, that's called the perimeter. The area is the space inside a two-dimensional space. Now, you have done that in the past and really have been doing it for years, I believe, in math. So today we're going to move on and look at three-dimensional objects. And the first objects we're looking at are prisms. So prisms are defined as objects that have two bases, so top and bottom, that have any shape. Okay, so here we have a triangular, a square, rectangular, pentagonal, hexagonal, octagonal prism, and then all the sides connecting those two bases are all rectangles. You can see here. So the triangle would have two triangle ends and three rectangular sides. So all of these have rectangular sides. That's different than a pyramid, which is what we're going to do next time. We're going to focus on triangular, square, and rectangular prisms. Now, a square prism, you may know, is a cube, because of course the rectangles on the side will be squares as well. So let's take a look, how do we find volume of prisms? So in general, to find the area, to find the volume of a prism, you're going to multiply the area of the base by the length of one of the sides. So in rectangles, you might remember that the area of a rectangle is length times width, right? So we have length times width, but we're adding that third dimension. So to find the area, the volume of a prism, a rectangular prism, you're going to go length times width and then times the height. So the area of the base is length times width, and the length of the other side is height. So the volume is those three multiplied by each other. Similarly, for a triangular prism, you might remember that the area of the base is 1/2 times the base times the length of. We also call this the height, but now because we have height here in three dimensions, we're going to call this the base and then the length of the triangle. And it's multiplied by 1/2 because remember, triangle's half a square, right? Um, so that's the area of the base, and then the length of our other side is the height of the prism. So our volume of a triangular prism is 1/2 base times length times height. So those are the equations you're going to need for volume for this lesson. So let's do an example with a rectangular prism. So let's say we have this rectangular prism. It's 8 inches by 8 inches, length by width, and the height is 15 inches. So our volume is length times width times height. And our length is 8 inches, our width is 8 inches, and our height is 15 inches. So we go 8 times 8 times 15. Put that into your calculator, you get 960. And because we have 3 dimensions, our inches is going to be cubed. So remember, our volume is always going to have a superscript 3 on the unit to indicate that is volume, that it has 3 dimensions. So it's always 3 with volume because there are 3 measurements or 3 dimensions. Okay, so fairly straightforward there. So let's take a look at surface area. So to find the surface area, you know how to do this. You're going to unfold the prism, and then we find the surface area of each face and add them together. So for example, if we have a rectangular prism like this and we unfold it, this is called a net. You'll see you'll have 4 sides that have the same dimensions as this side here. And then on our 2 ends, we have our 2 bases. And they're all rectangles. You would do that with any type of prism. If you have an octagonal prism or a triangular prism, you would have the number of rectangular sides and then the bases at the end. Then you find the surface area or the area of each of these parts and add them together. So let's do that with the example we did already. So the first thing we're going to do is unfold the shape, and this is called a net. And yeah, you can put these 2 bases anywhere you want, as long as it makes sense when you fold this back up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, which makes sense because I have the front, the back, this side, and then the left side. So it makes sense that I have 4 of those, and then I have my 2 bases. Now, if you look at your equation sheet, um, you can find the area of each section and then add them all together. But if you look at your equation sheet, it kind of makes it a little easier for you. The surface area of a rectangular prism is 2 times the width times height, because we have 2 of those faces, right? We have one here and we have another one here. And then length times width, that's the base, but we will have one here and one here. So there's going to be 2 of those. And then length times height, so this face, the front face, and then the back face. So there's 2 of those too. So this breaks it down nicely for you how to calculate it for a rectangular prism at any time. So let's plug our numbers in for those letters. So our width is 8, our height is 15. So our length is 8, our width is 8, our length is 8, our height is 15. So now we're going to multiply these numbers together just to clean this up a bit. So 8 times 15 is 120. 8 times 8 is 64, and then we have another 8 times 8 is 120. So now we're going to add those all together. We get 304, and now we can multiply by 2 to get the total surface area is 608 inches squared. Now remember, we're only looking at area here, so that's why we have a squared on the inches. So for surface area, we're only working with 2 measurements at once. So you're going to have a 2 on your dimension there, or your measurement, I should say. Your unit is what I meant. Okay, so that's it for the lesson. What I've done is I've created 2 practice sheets, one on surface area and one on volume. And the answers are included on the handout so you can check your solutions. Once you finish that and you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and try the 5.1 quiz. There are only 2 questions. One's on a rectangular prism that you have to find the volume and then surface area for. And then the second one is on a triangular prism that you have to do the same. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me or message me through Brightspace using the envelope in the top right-hand corner. All right, talk to you next time.